Hey Slayers, welcome to another build guide. In this build video, we're going to be going over an updated version of the Undying Axe build. This one is more damage focused than the previous build that I just did a guide on. This one is going to be purely damage focused, but still using Iceborne, Tenacious, and Tough to give you a lot of survivability. But this one drops all forms of parasitic in this build and focuses primarily on damage. The version of the build we're going over today is the one with Torgadoro's axe, but you can also go with a version of this build that uses Thrax's axe with the bond from Riftstalker. That gives you a stacking damage bonus as well as another damage buff ability. But this one we're focusing more on just pure raw damage output instead of getting a consistent attack up or having the dodge bonus that comes with using the Shadow Axe or the Umbral Axe for this build. So let's jump into the game and go over what we got going on here real quick. So like I said, we're going with Torgadoro's axe in this build. This we're going to put a Tenacious and a Sharpened Cell, Grim Onslaught, and Overcharged Cylinder with Inferno's Decree as the bonded weapon. This gives you the +3 overpower. From that, again, we're going with Shrike's Zeal, a really solid lantern for any axe build. The extra speed helps a lot. Now, with the Umbral version of this build, you do have another speed bonus. You might want to switch out the lantern if you're going with that. But all in all, between the speed bonus from the axe and this, you get a lot of speed bonuses built into the Umbral version of this build. For the helmet, we're going with Brow of Ice, which gives us +3 Knockout King, and we're putting another Tenacious Cell on there. For the body, we're going with the Dark Morrow and another Sharpened Cell on that, which is giving us a +3 Rage, +3 Sharpen. For the hands, we're going with the Arms of Ice. The Ice set is a very good set for Axe. I highly recommend investing into it if you're just getting started on the game and you fancy Axe. Or a lot of other weapons benefit from it too. Hammer and sword both can really benefit from a lot of the pieces from the Ice set if you're going for a stagger build. With this one, we're doing +3 Knockout King from the item itself with a +3 Tough Cell. And for the feet, we're going with Feet of Ice with +3 Overpower and a +3 Tough Cell. So that's 3 pieces of the Ice set going on there, and then 1 piece from Shroud. The Shroud item is going to obviously be the hardest of the armor here to farm, and then the axe itself is going to be the other thing that's going to be a pretty time-consuming item to farm up. This gives you +6 Knockout King, 30% extra stagger damage. Dodging through an attack means your next attack does +100 stagger damage. Pretty good for knocking out behemoths. Always good to get a dodge in on that. Overpower. Staggered behemoths take 40% more damage. This is a great damage bonus with the added control that you get by playing Axe and the added control that Axe gets from using the +6 Knockout King perk. +6 Sharpen. So after you get a dodge, your next attack in 5 seconds deals 100% part damage on top of the 30% passive bonus. That means with 1 dodge, you're getting a extra 100% or an extra 130% stagger damage and 130% extra part damage. Tenacious, for every 100 health points, you gain 2% damage bonus. With this build, you're going to have 1,700 hit points, which means you will be getting, 34% bonus damage when you're at maximum health. Tough, giving you an extra 500 hit points and the increased healing from all sources by 50%. The reason this is the non-intro version of the build, the intro version of the build also has Parasitic on it, which adds some extra lifesteal. That is a good build for somebody getting started playing Axe. When you're more comfortable playing Axe and more comfortable with the play style of this build, I would graduate to this build. You're losing the staggered damage and the life drain benefits of Parasitic, but you're keeping the bonus from Iceborne, and with the +6 Tough effect, you don't really notice it that much once you're more comfortable getting your combos in, knowing when you can get your combos in, not taking too many unnecessary hits, and also getting just the big life-stealing hits. So when you're not taking too much damage like you do when you first start playing Axe, this build will keep you topped up very, very well. +3 Energize to help you build up to that 4th weapon stack, getting you to the 75% damage. I always like to play this in my lantern cells if I'm not doing something like arena or trials. If I'm not doing trials, I usually run energized just to get up to 75% damage bonus from the weapon quicker. And then we're throwing this +3 rage in here. This is coming from, I believe, the chest piece. Yes, from the chest piece. And the reason why we're only going +3 is everything else in here that's damage based is going to be more consistent than the damage you're getting from rage. And as you're moving away from a intro version of this build onto like the graduate version, you shouldn't be getting hit as often. So this, instead of being every 15 seconds that you take damage, you deal 20% damage for 15 seconds, which means if you get hit every 15 seconds, you constantly have a plus 20% damage. Now we're going to every 30 seconds you get hit, you get that 20% damage bonus for 15 seconds. This is kind of in anticipation that you're not going to be getting hit every 15 seconds. So the uptime wouldn't be as high anyways. So why not just increase the cooldown of that bonus so that it's up for 15 seconds, but it can only be up for those 15 seconds every 30 seconds and every 15 seconds. Because let's be honest, you should not be getting hit every 15 seconds with this build. Ideally, to help keep your life topped off and keep those big damage hits coming. And like I said, if you wanted to switch out this build, you could switch out this axe over here for the Mind Splitter. And then with that also put on Stalker's Mercy, which gives you the +3 Assassin's Fury. I'm a little torn between which version of this build I like better. The problem is with switching over to the Umbral Axe and gaining that +3 Assassin's Fury and the stacking damage bonus from that axe, you're going to have to lose either 3 of the Sharpen, 3 of the Overpower, 3 of the Knockout King, or, well, that's pretty much it, because you don't want to lose the Tough, you don't want to lose the Tenacious. So you've got to sacrifice your +6 Shrapnel, or your +6 Sharpened, your +6 Overpower, or your +6 Knockout King. By dropping down to 3 on Sharpened, you're going to lose the dodge bonus and 15% of the passive damage. On Overpower, you're going to drop down from 40% to 20%. I think that would be the route I would go if I was going to knock off one of these to do the Umbral build. And then for the Knockout King, you're going to lose the dodge bonus plus the 15% of the 30% passive damage, knockout damage. So honestly, if you're going for just pure raw damage output and you don't want to worry about too many procs and stuff or keeping consistent hits, maybe it's a fight you're learning, but you feel comfortable in your ability to dodge in the fight, this is the route I would go with this build. Again, like always, guys, if you have any suggestions on builds or want me to do a build on a certain weapon or a certain playstyle for a certain weapon, maybe a Undying type build for another weapon, a low stamina build for another weapon, or just a pure damage or a very balanced build for a weapon, let me know in the comment section down below. And until next time, guys, happy hunting out there.